And welcome back to the atmospheric cafeteria of the kitchen today. We have snoring pugs. If you hear any commotion, it could be outside birds having a wee bit of a squabble. Oscar's, he seemed to become very, very interested, came out of whatever hiding spot he was in. Hello, baby stalker ginger tiger. Little baby ginger stalker boy. I love it, Juice. So, yeah, the color purple, both book and movie could have something to do with whatever. Found my purple pen today. I keep seeing like a lizard and a flower and a snake and a flower. I don't know why. But then, you have the squabbling birds outside. So, I mean, it was like squabbling, like, who was cheating on who here. So who's to say what's going on? My scrying mirror is off to the side. It doesn't know if it wants to scry. It just knows it wants to sit in the reading. So I'm super 100% okay with that because I don't know how old my mirror is. And my mirror must be like, had to have been my great-grandmother's. Or my Aunt Peg's. I'm thinking it was more my great-grandmother's. Also, I crowed some rocks. Look at this one. So pretty. So spherical. It's pretty. So, I've had, my head has been stuffy the last few days, and, Queen of Wands. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of energy with the holiday and people coming in and people going out. Not in my house, but just within the city. And then, the Pope passed away, so I can feel everybody's mourning. I'm looking at the Pope. I'm smelling roses. I have rosaries. Rosaries from the Vatican that smell like roses. And oh my God, there's no better smell than Vatican rose. It is, if you know, it is just such a most gorgeous angelic scent, and the vibration off of them is so powerful. They're one of my favorite pieces that I have because they're blessed by this Pope, and he's very powerful and surrounded by angels. And I'm so grateful to have those, actually, now that I'm sitting here and thinking about this. I love this so much that I have these. I think I need to bring them downstairs. Okay, I'm getting like overly hyper and anxious. Am I picking up on here? I don't know. Anyway, so I smelled the roses, and I heard conclave soon, and I'm like, all right, whatever, because I don't get notified of people's deaths, not usually. I might get like an inkling of they're not doing too well. Something might be going on with them health-wise, but I don't get the, so-and-so is going to die on this date. But this I did, and that was just really, really odd. I don't know if anybody else did, but like, it was just strange to wake up the next day to that. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I am on that train, by the way. Anyway, I digress on that subject. I'm going to bring that up. So there's just been a lot of clairvoyant feelings and emotions in the atmosphere, so it's like I can feel everything. And then one of the people on our block, they lost their spouse of, God, they must have been married 66 years. They must have been in love since they were children, so they've like never been apart, and this is their first Easter without their spouse. So I've been feeling that sadness. So sending blessings to everybody that need it, and especially Ann and Dave. Especially Ann and Dave. So, yeah, there's just been a lot. And then today it's like, okay, something's like, we need to do a reading. And I'm like, all right. So far, we have the Queen of Acorns out. She came out single on her own. Of course, this is a card of action. Passion and creativity. I'm being asked to read from the book. Move my water over. Attempt not to spill anything. Mirror says something about a snake. Be careful of a snake in the grass. It's like upside down. The snake upside down. You know, at first I thought, you know, you're the deer and maybe you should look down and make sure you don't step on the snake, but it feels like that's not what I'm being told. It's just like, beware, there's a snake. Be observant. If you know you're going through a pasture and you know that there could be snakes, just, you don't have to necessarily look down, just be observant, like hear, just hear stuff. Hear, listening. Being shown like fingers and cupped hands, like hands and fingers. No, someone's hands. No, maybe that's something to do with someone's hands. You know, I'm trying to figure out if this is a cheating relationship. This is why it's taking me so long and I'm so quiet. I'm trying to figure out if this is a cheating relationship. You know, be careful of that, you know, ooh, that snake in the grass. This is not what I'm being told. I'm being shown a physical, wow, I love my mirror so much. Thank you so much. Oh, great auntie, thank you. So I'm being shown a snake. I'm being shown a snake that is crawling up the side of a house. And I think that's why this came out. Wherever you live in the woods and you have deer. You have deer that come to feed at your feeders every single day. As a matter of fact, you've got a couple of kids and your kids might have like blonde or sandy blondish hair. I'm in the poor cat's way. And I'm seeing like a little kid that like puts his like fist in his mouth to just kind of nibble on it. So we're talking about a baby that can, he's got brown eyes, okay? Here, let me move my coffee, baby. I'm sorry, I'm intruding on your area to eat on. And I love you so much, baby. Thank you so much, baby boy. Thank you for allowing me this. You're so gracious, Oscar. We are next to his eating area. He gets the whole kitty bar, so yeah. So I'm being told this is like a warning. I'm being told Australia. And I think I'm being told Australia for one of two reasons. A, this person understands when I say Australia, be afraid of the snakes and the bugs, right? Because maybe we're a big Steve Irwin fan, okay? They're also showing me that not only that, this is somebody that lives in the country who watches Steve Irwin. And I'm looking at the episode in particular. He is showing me the episode where he was underneath the snake and he heard the rattler and he heard it too late, and that's when he went, okay, I need to be calm, I need to use my head, and I need to use my judgment of when I can strike. And you can hear the cat eating, just so you're aware, okay? I'm being shown the light in my house, and right now at my house on Lake Ontario, it is 6:52 on April 22nd. Okay, it's 6:52 p.m. This is the evening light, so it's the evening light, so it's the same light, say, as the morning. You know how you get, like, here, I'm going to kind of see if I can, don't judge my kitchen, people, like your kitchen's any better. Okay, my dishes are done. Let's all be thankful for that one, okay? So you can see the evening light, how it comes in. They're showing me like that light. They're showing me this light, okay? Like I said, don't judge. Judge lest ye be judged, my friend. Telling you, my dishes are done, and I'm thankful for that. I don't care that the potatoes are out or that I haven't put the Downy rinse and release away. By the way, if you take Downy rinse and release and you do half lavender and half the active scent, it smells like fresh baby. You know that beautiful, lovely newborn baby scent that lasts for all of about 2 minutes? Yeah, this one makes it last for a lot longer. So, hi, Oscar. Thank you so much, Lovey. Yep, go ahead and jump down. You're good. You're safe. So they're showing me this light. So there's something about this time of day or this time of morning. So they're showing me, this is like, okay, I will read it in just a second, okay? But you can't come up on there. You can sit there like a gentleman, but you can't come up on the table right now. And they're showing me, okay. So, ouch, sorry. I'm just making sure everything, because I moved everything. So, they're showing me Australia because I'm pretty sure this person likes Steve Irwin, and even to this day they're showing me keeps up kind of like you know, you see on occasion I'll see, you know, the family, the grandkids, yada yada yada, but this person is touched and affected to the point where it's not obsessive. They're just they like these people, they see the goodness in them, so they follow the pages and they enjoy the pictures, okay? So this is a person that has seen this episode. They understand what I am talking about exactly, okay? You understand exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know if this is you. I don't know if this is a friend. I don't know if, you know, you're separated from whomever. I feel like I'm talking to a man, but I could be talking to a woman too. It doesn't really matter gender, but I feel like a man is listening to me right now. This could be, you know, you know, you and your kid's mom aren't together, and you know she's got the kids for the weekend, and you know you don't ever really have to worry anything, but they live in the country and yada 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 yada. Things they know, you know they know, and ba 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 ba. Okay, we all know they're not stupid because you trust them with your kids. You're not one of those parents. And God, how many I've seen. So what Spirit is showing me, what my mirror is showing me, is that someone has like a little blondie. It looks like a little boy with brown hair, medium length hair. Yeah, you haven't gotten necessarily his haircut yet. So he's probably about 18 months old. I see little sandals, little green shirt, and blue shorts, okay? And he likes to particularly watch the deer in the bird feeder. And he likes to watch the females, the queens, the females with the does. The does with the fawns, the Bambis. He likes to watch the does with the fawns, okay? And he watches them all the time. One, I'm being told, I'm being shown this, so I do not know anything. So whatever you guys, just tell me if I'm right or wrong. They're showing me like, by this feeder, there's probably like some tall brush, because there's bird feeders out there too. And, this is the kind of thing where you like go into the brush with the stick and you're going to bat around to make sure there aren't any snakes there. They're saying mow that. Mow it now. Now. Don't wait. Don't pass go. As a matter of fact, they're saying turn the soil over too. Wow. They're showing me like you have woods There's some grass there that you just ignore because it's tall and it doesn't matter. It can kind of like hide the fawns. They're showing me fawns being bit by snakes. Wow. All right, I don't know. So I'm wondering actually if this is Australia. I don't know where this is, but it seems like you're going to have a little snake issue. And this isn't, bug on my wall, I think. I don't know what kind of bug it is. It's okay. I like me some bugs. They're showing me that this is a one-off. It's not like somebody had snakes and let them loose. It's not like, oh, there's all of a sudden a giant population. It's just, I don't know why. Science, they're saying, we'll know why. It's a one-off. It's something that happens. I don't know. All I know is they're saying, mow this area that you never mow. Turn this soil over. Take all the feeders out. Turn the soil over. Are you going to have a little bit of grass because it's a wooded area and the grass doesn't grow quite as tall there? Yes. But that area between where they're showing me, like, Spirit, I love you more than I can possibly say. Thank you. Thank you for letting me crow some rocks today. So let's set up a little thing. So this is your house. It's a lovely little round house, okay? So your house is here, okay? And you have this nice little back porch part, okay? It's a pretty big back porch because you've got a pretty large property, okay? And they're showing me this is your house, this is your porch, and then actually the porch is a little closer there. And then you have all of this property, and then here are the woods, okay? So where's this guy right here? Here, isn't he amazing? Look at how flat he is. He's so flat. He's so perfect. These are the woods, okay? And there's this thin little strip of white right here, okay? This thin little strip of white is where you never mow. And you never mow it because the deer come out, they go to the feeder, they eat the stuff that's on the ground. It doesn't matter. You mow up to this certain point and you let it go this whole way. So I almost feel like there are woods here and then there's like a thing here, or maybe that it's like that in other places, but you just don't worry about that because you're not worried about it. And maybe you have some neighbors, maybe you don't, so you're going to want to kind of warn them. But I feel like these people over here might have smaller dogs, so they're more alert for snakes. It might even be Florida. I was just told Florida. So there's a chain link fence, and you're not worried about dogs going out there and getting lost in the woods because your dogs are good. And there is a chain link fence here because other people probably have dogs and they don't want their dogs going into the woods, because if you have little dogs, sometimes they don't work well with coming back when you need them to. I have pugs. I've had poodles. I know what I'm talking about. But some dogs are really good. They're showing me mow this, because where your neighbor's fence goes straight to the tree line and comes up, okay? And you're one on the other side too, because I feel like these people have a bigger dog and these people have a smaller dog. I'm actually being shown a friend's house where on their left side, on this side, there's actually this little dog that always comes out, and I talk to them when I go let their dogs out. And but I'm being shown the smaller dogs are on the right side and the bigger dogs are on the left side, and the bigger dogs are going to start to bark when they see the snakes or they get this whiff that there's something wrong. Now, there is a really big reason for this. It's not only because of the deer being bit, okay? Because usually these deer, the deer knows, okay? The deer knows that there's going to be snakes in the woods, okay? They know it. They can compensate for that. They understand it. If they get bit, it's whatever. But they understand that the snake is there, okay? We understand that snakes are there, but if you're not used to necessarily seeing snakes here, okay? And I almost want to say, like, these people put this up almost like because they don't want their dogs taken by crocodiles, and their dogs won't come back if they get in, like, the woods. Like, I see, like, a pretty little Rottweiler over here, like a baby like, oh, I love her so much. She's like, I'm a baby Rottweiler. I'm a baby Rottweiler. Like, it's like you go over to the fence and go, oh my God, aren't you the prettiest little girl? Aren't you just a baby? Aren't you just a little baby? Look at you, all big, all ferocious. You could take on a whole gang, couldn't you? Oh, the sweetest baby girl. Like, you have, like, special little treats for her because she's so sweet and special. And you know, yes, this fence probably really doesn't keep snakes out, but it's keeping out what it needs to keep out for these smaller dogs. So that could be coyote, that could be snakes, that could be whatever it's going to be. Because if you're in Florida, if you're in Australia, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say this. They're also showing me, like, a wooded land in Europe. If you're, like, in that kind of area, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This, however, is unusual, they're saying. This is really, they're saying, excuse my language, fucked up. They're like, this is unusual. Usually you don't have to worry about this. There's a beneficial part of having this grass taller so that the does can let their fawns just sit in the tall grass. They're saying you don't want that here. They'll still let their babies sit in the grass because the does know that you guys won't hurt anyone. You actually leave out, I want to say you leave maize out, like you might even leave it like out into like this part of your dog, of your yard where it's shorter. And you have dogs too, but you have dogs that come back. You have fluffy dogs I'm looking at, like they're not collies, but they're fluffy. They're like, I want to say you even have Cocker Spaniels. You may even have Cocker Spaniels that won't run deer because they know not to. Also, you may not let them out when you see the deer. You might even have like a separate, they're showing me like a separate little side of the yard. Like you're like, yeah, I know my Cockers aren't going to do that. But yeah, my boyfriend that passed away, he's like, yeah, you don't trust that. You don't trust your Cocker Spaniel not to run a deer. So you might even have like an extra side yard that you have kind of closed in just for whatever. Maybe it's like someplace where, whatever. Kids go outside, play, you pick up the dog poop, whatever, when, you see a deer and the dog's got to go. They're showing me you might even have something like that in the backyard too, where it's just like a little dog run where the dogs can go out and go pee and poop, whatever. And then you have the rest of the backyard where usually, there's some corn, there's some maize. You do this every day. You and the kids go out. I'm seeing that little boy again. He's got a blue sweater on and pants and sandals. He likes his sandals. He won't wear his socks. He likes his sandals. That's like the Tevias. Little wide, chunky feet, too. And you guys go out every day and do that. And it's okay for him to be in the tall grass because this is early morning and the deer aren't there yet. They don't come till like 10 o'clock, I guess. 10:09. And, okay, I've just said 10:09. So we need to keep this in order. First and foremost, I was told this time of night. So there has something to do with this time of night and this. 10:09 could refer to this kind of light at 10:09 a.m. However, 10 and 9 are October 9th. 1 and 9 could be January 9th. However, I wouldn't think January 9th simply because that is winter. But if you live in Florida or you live in Australia, January 9th would make sense. So take that how it resonates. Take it how it hits you. So if you're like, okay, October 9th, take it as October 9th. Start looking now. Because you guys, I'm almost being told that when you turn this soil over, you're going to find snake eggs. I don't know anything about snakes. I know nothing. I've held them. I love them. I love the little danger noodles. If I could feed them pinkies, I would have snakes, okay? I cannot feed them pinkies. I do not have snakes. So, I mean, if I had a boyfriend who had snakes, as long as I'm not smelling anything, I'm good. Because I was the girl who grew up smelling rabbit meat on the back of the stove. So if you were that girl or that granddaughter, because I was that granddaughter, you know what I'm talking about. It's a nasty smell, and either you loved it or you hated it. And I don't like the smell of boiled meat, so... Because it smells like boiled chicken, and actually now that I'm an adult, the smell isn't terrible, but it's just, let's face it, I didn't eat it because of the smell, and then Uncle Tommy made me try it, and he's like, Martha, just try it. It tastes like chicken. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I tried it, and I was like, oh, I love rabbit meat. Like, rabbit is better than chicken. Like, oh, I love rabbit. Excuse my, I'm going to get some bamboo spoons. Little puppy doggy. He's making a turnaround. So, keep this 10:09. Also, remember, 1 is new beginnings, and 9... Fives are changes, 9s are endings. So 1 is a new beginning and 9 is an ending. So we have a 1 and a 9 plus that is 10. So that would be like 2 10s and a 9. So this is really important, okay? Because this could be a new beginning of an ending, and I'm being shown the movie, the Stephen King book. Hold on. They're picking through my knowledge, they say, of Stephen King books so they can give me the right cover, because right now all they have is Skeleton Crew. So I'm trying to remember all of the, they know that there's one in there about the dog, Sundog, and so if you've read Skeleton Crew, whatever in there resonates with this with you, that take that as it is. Take that with you. Write it down. They're saying, right, if things are resonating with you, write them down so you can look at them later. And they're showing me, okay, I know this book because I read this book. Hold on, that's Different Seasons. It's not Different Seasons. Pet Cemetery. Well, you know, Spirit, that's funny. I saw it, but I couldn't read it, and it put in Skeleton Crew. Yeah, that was funny. So, yeah, we had to pick through it. So they're showing me Pet Cemetery, and spoilers, if you haven't read the book, it's up to you. But I'm going to give you spoilers, because in that movie, a child dies, and that's what they're conveying. They show me $7:05 right now, spiritual growth and changes. Okay, so we've got spiritual growth and changes now that we're really here. So this little blonde-haired boy with blue eyes, what my mirror showed me was the following, okay? And I'm still seeing it now. And I will take a picture of it. Is that okay? If they'll let me. Okay, this is going to make sense when you guys see it. Yeah, I'm not going to face the other cam. Thank you very much. So what it is that I have this gingham bow from Bath and Body Works from years ago. Randomly, because I'm autistic, tied onto one, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, randomly tied on one of my kitchen doors, okay, kitchen cabinet doors, and it's got a little bit of wire in it, but the way that it is flopped over the years, because you haven't paid attention to it, you know who you are. Nobody should salt or judge anybody on anything, because we're all guilty of something. So you salt somebody on what their kitchen looks like, make sure your whole house looks good. Spirit will whop you in the ass for that, they say, and I don't know why I would ever say that, but whop you on the ass must have been something said to you. So the way that this comes down is it kind of like, it kind of does this. It kind of does this. It's not really much of a bow anymore, and then it kind of comes down like that. Okay, it looks like that. And in the mirror, and then it comes down towards the microwave, and then there's this like little, there's stuff on top of the microwave. It looks like One of my oven mitts is there, which looks like fingers, and then on top of that is a scale to measure stuff with. Then the microwave is under that, and then the oven. So, because my oven is in the wall, and then my range top is in my countertop. Highly suggest. 10 out of 10 would always do again. So it doesn't look like anything here, but when I look in my mirror, what they started showing me was the side of a house. Now my cabinets are brown. I saw the side of like white siding, like off-white white siding, and I saw a window that was kind of low to the ground, and I saw this as like a baby's bedroom. And what this shows me is that there is it's nighttime, and there is a window opened literally this much. They're showing me literally this much. This is my pen. This is my finger. This much. It's just open this much. There could be a screen. I feel like there isn't a screen because at this point nobody's terribly worried about it. You know, if you have cats, they come in and out. They're probably in the house for the night sleeping, right? Oh, we're ready to throw up. Oh God, this is a lot. But they're showing me the snake coming up the side of the house and crawling in and biting a baby. And you don't know till you wake up in the morning and find that. Now, the convex of this, and I don't know if convex is the correct word, but the other part they show me is, rather than the snake being the physical animal, which this is exactly what it is, they're also showing me, and this could be for somebody coming through the woods, and it reminds me of the Villenberg baby, where they come in and they open and they crawl in and then they leave, okay? Which Spirit says is another exact reason why you want to mow that area and turn over that grass so you can see those footprints. Another thing Spirit says you can do is have, because if this is the oh wow, that looks like a sleeping baby. It's just absolutely, what the hell is this now? Jesus Christ, Mary, just want to take a picture of that. That just absolutely messed me up. Randomly draw stuff, Martha, that you don't, Jesus. Anyway, I understand that why it's so important. I understand why you've given me a headache now for like 4 days. It made me like not able to sleep. Like I haven't been able to sleep. I've been depressed, and it's like I can pick reasons in my life to feel this way, but it doesn't feel like clinical depression. It feels like sudden, like not melancholy. I'll think of the word in a second. But what they're showing me here is a baby in a bed. Okay. For those, they're also saying this might be, why do I say July 9th? They're also showing me this might be like one of those things where it kind of doesn't occur to you because it's such a hot night and you need to have that window open, and there isn't a screen anyway because it doesn't really matter anyway. But you need to have that screen open. It might even be the kind of thing where it's like a screen with a box fan sort of thing where it can just like bring that in. And they're saying the box fan might be the reason why you don't hear that window, that screen open too. Okay. That's very interesting because I just asked Spirit, I said, okay, so are we actually talking about snakes or are we talking about humans? And they're saying, no, we're talking about both because there's going to be an area, okay? I do not know what this is. I do not know enough to understand what I'm seeing. I can only tell you and show you, okay? So, first of all, let's talk about this here. Spirit is saying that if you have a big enough property like this, they're betting that you probably would be able to, on some level, get some kind of light here. They're saying that the reason why they need you to cut all of this down is that you're being watched. They're telling me stalked. You're being stalked, you're being watched. Your house is being watched. They know you leave this open. They know who your baby is. He's got blonde hair. And it's not short, and he's got brown eyes, and he's 18 months old. He's still in the we got our cuppy, the cuppy. And then putting the hand, But there's nothing wrong with him. This isn't necessarily a neurodivergent child, and if they are, you're not gonna know. They're gonna turn 7 years old, and someone's gonna look at you and go, "Oh, your child's strange," and you're gonna go to the doctor and say, "Yeah, they said my child's strange," and the doctor's gonna look at your child and go, "They're a little autistic, right?" And you're gonna look at them, and you're gonna look at yourself, and your 2 other older kids that you already know are autistic, and you're gonna go, "Oh yeah, this makes sense now." Because it doesn't matter in the long run, okay? It's just goofiness. And that's basically what it is that whatever this child is, there's no reason to be worried, okay? There's no reason to monitor. There's no disabilities that need to be monitored per se that, if your child's autistic or has ADHD at this age, you're not worried about them running out of bed in the middle of the night. This is what I'm saying, okay? If you are a co-parenting dad and this is your ex's property, you're not worried about this child in this yard because you already asked, "Can I inspect your yard? I want to make sure everything's okay in case I see something." I'm also seeing this as someone who got remarried and her husband likes you and he liked the fact that you wanted to inspect the yard and you might have actually found something and told him about that. And I get this, the hair am I feel like it's this one-off where it's like this like random one-off where these 2 guys are really going to get together and have this good friendship just simply because not only is one the dad and one helping to co-parent the child, but they have the best interest of the mother at heart. He doesn't have to get along with her. He doesn't have to like her. He's just like, you know what? We have a kid. We love our kid. We're just gonna make peace with whatever bullshit we did. And this is also a healing mow. These are not healed, but healing, because we're always healing. We're never fully healed, right? So I don't know what I'm being shown a stick or something. I don't know what it is, but he the dad shows the stepdad and the stepdad's like, "Oh my God, I never noticed that." And then they start talking about it. And this talk leads to a friendship that is so valued. Because this guy's got 3 kids with this woman. I mean, this could be people that got divorced, people that got, it's a thing. And I'm also being told that this guy who is good friends with the stepdad and the mom, there's going to be a girlfriend and she's not going to get it. And she's going to leave him because he won't be an asshole towards them. He literally looks at her and says, "Listen, I'm co-parenting with her. My child's happy. I get along. As a matter of fact, this guy's my best friend. We're going fishing. You become best friends with her new husband." I'm being shown not that there's a man cave per se, but it's like you're just out in the garage having a beer and you guys just start talking about shit, and it's like you sit there and you're like, "Oh, I see why you guys are together. I see why you guys click better than we did." Like there's that, like, okay, I get this. And like I'm feeling this real sorrow of um I'm being shown because I think the stepdad's like a little older, or maybe he just appears a little older, or maybe one guy just appears a little younger. But I'm being shown like he's sitting there and they're talking and they've got so much in common and this, that, and the other thing. And this couple will also go on to have a couple more kids. Like I think they'll have like 5 altogether. And he's sitting there listening to him, and as he's listening to him, he's realizing this is why he and I are a lot alike. We're gonna definitely be best friends, but this is the reason why she and I couldn't be together, because I'm not him and she's what he needed. Like he's all of this that I like, but this little part here, this, whatever this is, it can be a tenderness, it can be an understanding, it can be I'm being shown a love for the band Kiss that nobody else has. Like we're not going to be freaky and stalk, but we have every album. We've gone to a lot of concerts, might have even met at a Kiss concert. You know, it's like if you know people that love Dave Matthews and that's their favorite band, this is Kiss and that's their favorite band. I don't know, I'm being shown like a small Kiss collection because they won't let it get out of control. I don't know what that's about. But he just sits there and he listens to this and he's like, yeah, that's the reason why they click, and she and I couldn't be together longer, because I was never going to be able to fulfill this part for her, and she needed this part. She needed this person. And it's in that moment of that realization that you grow, and that allows you to find the person and draw in person that you need to be with, because you realize I couldn't be with that person because I couldn't fulfill this part of the journey with her. This person had to. And I feel like that's a self lesson for myself a little bit. I'll take that as it resonates. And he's learning that, yeah, I bet there is somebody else out there. And when he meets this girl, and he really likes this girl, like he really likes her, she kind of takes him for a loop. And excuse me, pardon me, she doesn't like the fact that he's best friends with the new husband. She doesn't like the fact that he's co-parenting with her, and he tries to be understanding and accepting of her views, because a lot of times we just assume that every woman's going to have the same view of hate the baby mama, which is untrue. So he figures that's what it is, and he tries to accept it. But it's at some point, you know, when she gives him the ultimatum, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Well, if you don't, then we're breaking up. And he looks at her and says, pack your bags and go tonight, because I'm not doing this. And then there's all the crying afterwards, and then he goes to the best friend and says, who's the stepdad, and says, this is what's going on. And the stepdad's like, yeah, that's real unfair. And because he's got this mentally healthy person to talk to, he's not getting caught in a trap. He's actually hearing, okay, this isn't normal, and he's able to deal with this. And then because of this, whether or not they tell the other parent is subjective to you and them, I'm being told. This is the kind of thing where either A, you can go to her and she can be, oh, that bitch, yeah, you're good, don't worry, yada yada. Or you don't go to her because you know she's going to, you use your discernment, they're saying. They're saying use your discernment wisely. But, so this is a really, really good, healthy relationship. So that's really good. So that aside, Whether this is the new parent's house and yard, or whether it's your house and yard, or whether it's your house and yard with your spouse, no matter whether you're male, female, whatever. Everything is unisex in this world here for me, but sometimes I just give it as it comes. They need you to mow this. They need you to mow this for the following reasons. If it's scenario, this is actually scenario number 2. We're going to exclude the snakes for a second. This is somebody that is praying in wait. This is somebody who has been observant. This is somebody that has seen you at the grocery store, your wife at the grocery store with your child. This is somebody that has seen your child. They don't care about the other 2 you have. They like this one. And this is really hard for me to say, but they have been stalking your house. They understand their way through the woods. They understand the different trails being shown in the Appalachian Mountains. And they watch in the tall grass, and I'm being told you might start noticing that the deer just aren't coming around the way they used to. And one of the reasons why you might decide to cut the grass is you might decide that maybe it's too long and the deer aren't going to come because it's too long. Because it's not that you're not feeding them. I'm being told you're feeding them, but it's all going to waste. You're kind of seeing some tracks out there because I'm seeing some mud. I'm seeing maybe it's been really rainy and muddy. And you've kind of seen some tracks out there, but you're not really worried about it because, you know, you walk back there, you've been walking back there a lot, deer walk back there, you're not worried about it. It's mud, the dogs, yada, yada. Are your dogs barking a lot? Like around 6 o'clock at night. Maybe that's why I'm being shown this time of night. It's 7:24 right now. Maybe they bark a little more in the evening time. God, I wish I was making this up. This explains a lot. Might even be like a creek bed in between the woods, like there's like a thin part where there's no, and then it like goes into like some sort of whatever. But I think me seeing so many variations of this just means it doesn't matter what it looks like. Look for the tall grass, look for the trees behind. It doesn't matter what's next to the left or right. Just look at that where someone can hide and mow it. Mow it. And they want you to mow it for the following reasons, okay? 1, nothing is guaranteed. We can try to protect as much as we can, and shit happens, and we become careless, and we don't think because it's 90 degrees at night and that fan needs to be in because your air conditioner just busted. Why did your air conditioner break? Can you go to Mima's house? Go to Mima's house for the night. Baby's staying at Mima's house for the night. The older kids will be fine in the heat, but baby's going to Mima's. Got that? Baby's going to the neighbor's house for the night for the air conditioning because the baby will say has asthma. Will lie. Who freaking cares right now? You don't want your 18-month-old in that heat because it's too hot and the other kids are fine. Maybe the other kids can spend the night at the neighbor's. I'm recommending this neighbor. I'm being told this person has guns. This person, doesn't matter political parties, they will shoot a motherfucker. You want them over here. I'm also being told that you understand the arsenal that your neighbors have. I like you people. No idea who the hell you are, but I like you. So, mow this. First of all, if you mow it, you're going to see them coming. Second of all, right here, put some kind of light that is a motion sensor. And they're saying you can put one there and you can put one here, but you can also put one here. But they're saying you kind of want to put it on the pole that's here so that these people can't see because they already know that you don't have a pole with a light because they've already gone across your yard. They've gone across the creek bed. They've gone up in here. They make little footpaths. They've gone over here a little bit into the neighbor's yard to kind of scope out. They have not gone into this neighbor's yard for some unknown reason, but they have gone up the side of this fence, okay? They are scoping. They are going around. And this is for a very precise purpose. God, I hate this so much, but I can't not tell you what I'm getting. So, yeah. So because we can't prevent everything, that's fine to be angry. Oh, my pen exploded. Maybe not, I don't know. One, this will give you more access to see out there. You can also put, they're showing me a deer feeder that's raised up. They're also showing me you could put a light there that is motion activated that would blend in with the wood. And they're telling me secret shit here. They're like, be secretive. Yeah, well, that's just me. I'm that nutsy lady. But they're saying to mow this and then turn over the soil here because A, footprints, and B, if something happens and they make it through the window, we got footprints, okay? Because it's a good chance they may not go necessarily that way. They're going to go up and out here to the side. They're going to come up in here because there's going to be a waiting car up there, okay? There's this, you're going to wake up, there's going to be no baby. But the thing is, if you mow and you turn the soil over now, you're going to see the footprints coming out of the woods because it's a good chance they might just be coming down this way and then back through up in here or down in here. And there could also be like some bushes here, lilac bushes that like maybe they can get in between stuff. But that's what they're showing me. They're showing me turn over the soil so you can see the footprints and keep your baby's window closed because the baby likes to watch the deer. The baby likes to watch the deer. And sometimes you guys come out into the yard and you get like halfway here and you watch the deer. And you watch the deer eat. And you put him down in the grass and he knows he can't go near the deer. He knows. He knows. I see like this little white sweatshirt on him and little blue jeans and his little tevias. And he likes to like, you know, flop around the yard, run around the yard. And, you know, he's still getting his balance and he likes to watch the deer and he points to the deer and you're like, he's going to be my little hunter. He's going to go hunting with me. You know, the other kids don't. They're not interested. This one, though, this one might go hunting. And even if you're not going hunting, he'll at least go through the woods with you. Like the other two, they don't mind. But this one, he'll want to go hunting with you, you know. And they're showing me, again, the book Pet Cemetery. And they're showing me a very, very specific, very emotional passage of the book where, trigger warning, trigger warning, very big trigger warning, and spoiler, the father in this movie, and take this how it resonates too if you need to take this too. In the movie, the baby is hit by a truck, a Mack truck, okay, 18-wheeler. And we see, we read where the baby is hit. And then all of a sudden we read where the baby is going to school and graduating and going off to college. And you're seeing this beautiful thing and you're like, oh, what the hell is this? And then it slams you back to the baby is dead and the father just saw every wish that he had for his baby. He saw everything. It just disappeared. And he really lived in regret with this. He tried to do everything he could to bring his baby back alive, including digging it up and bringing it to a pet cemetery to do unnatural things. And what is it that they tell us in Practical Magic? Oh, baby, they don't come back the same way. They come back different. I mean, you can't actually do that. You can't really resurrect a body, but people will do anything to try. They will do anything to figure out what could I have done? What could I do? Like how. And You can definitely dance around that campfire. You can even put your hand in the fire. You can even ask these really, really practical questions because you need to know where you failed. But you can't sit there and stare at the fire obsessively because at some point it becomes unhealthy. I'm reminded of what my mom said when my grandmother passed away. She said, Martha, I could have gone to the doctors. My mom was a nurse for 40 years. She said, I could have gone to the doctors. I could have gotten every single one of her reports, but what was that going to do me in the end? It wasn't going to bring her back, was it? So why should I bother? And she was correct about that. But this will drive you crazy, just like it did the father in the book. So they're telling me to tell you, as the dad, please be this observant, okay? I feel like Australia for some unknown reason. So 1009, you know, take that as, if you're in Australia, take that as 19. I think is that fall into spring? Or is that summer into fall? Yeah, that's summer. So January is summer in Australia. So this would make sense on 10/9 for summer in Australia, okay? So keep an eye out for this. Also, take a look at your papers and see if anybody's been seeing anything weird. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to the kids' parents at school. Just like, you know, if something seems odd, don't dismiss it. Listen to your guides. Listen to your gut. Listen to your spidey senses. If you think it sounds stupid, I'm reminded of the time I took the dog to the vet because she had a spot on her paw. $17 and a concerned puppy parent later, she was fine. Yes, they charged me $17 to look at her spotted paw. The doctor's like, there's nothing wrong with her. I'm like, okay. Later on, same dog died of pneumonia. She looked at me, went, turned back around, walked off, not another cough for 4 weeks until she's wheezing and dying in my arms. So, and that's a lot to get over too, you know? That was a really hard vet visit that night. That was just terrible. So, some things don't look like anything on the surface, but sometimes it's okay to step back and go, let's overreact a tiny bit. Are we going to overreact on everything? No. And this is why they're telling me, mow this, get footprints if you can, because you can't be observant for everything. And if this does happen, you have proof, you have things, you can do something. Okay, you have video. They're saying get a video, get a camera out there. There's something about if you scare them away, it may scare them away from doing this in general. There's something about, like, they've almost gotten caught before. Like if you start seeing something suspicious, just give the police a call. Like, wander past there, take some pictures, wander past and go, listen, maybe I'm overreacting. But you know what? We don't need another child abduction, so let's just overreact a tiny bit. And do that. So, I'm asking Spirit if the baby's going to wander out of the house and into the woods at all. And Spirit's like, no. No, this baby doesn't wander out of the house. And it's just because you guys keep your doors closed the way you should. That's why they're saying this is so unusual that anybody could get into your house. Because your baby doesn't wander out because you know you have your doors baby lock. You got 3 kids. Why wouldn't you have the little locks on the top of the door to make sure everybody was, you know, not wandering out of the house on Saturday morning at 3 in the morning if they decide to wake up? And that's what I feel like there's like a window here at the side of the house. The baby's room is at the side of the house. But I don't feel like this is upstairs. I feel like this is downstairs. And I don't feel like this is a ranch. I don't feel like this is a ranch. I feel like this is a 2-level house. And maybe if this is really hot summer, it's downstairs because it's cooler there. It's like cooler in this part of the house. So that's what they're showing me. They're showing me, just you know, if anything seems weird, just go to the police and say, listen, I just want to get this on record. I know it sounds stupid, but, you know. Because even the baby's not going to notice it's picked up. Like this appears to me to be like a baby that, like, even you and your spouse are like, listen, this baby could be kidnapped so easy because you just lift it up and it just cuddles into you and it doesn't even wake up. Like, first sign your child is autistic? Yeah, I know, right? Because I was that child. I was that child. You could pick me up and I was just going to cuddle back into your arms. I was never going to wake back up. I was just going to go right back to sleep. So that is the first part of this. And for me, this is the most important part of this because this does have to do with the possibility of abduction. This is not another parent, they're saying to say this. This is not another parent coming in to take a child. This is a parent that has a good relationship with the other parent. And if they don't have a good relationship with the other parent, this is not the kind of person that's going to come in and blame people. This is the kind of father that's going to come in very, very concerned. They're going to look at the situation. They're going to understand. Maybe the mom and he don't get along. Maybe the dad and he don't get along. It doesn't matter what the thing is. The fact of the matter is, that was Oscar giving us luck and love. Okay, Oscar. Come here, honey. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. They're showing me this is a good relationship, but they're also saying, if you're in a bad relationship, if you don't get along with the mom or the stepdad or whatever, you are not going to be the kind of dad who comes in and goes, you did this, it's your fault, my kid's missing. No, you're going to look around and you're going to go, my God, I would have missed this. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be that dick that just blame shifts everything so you're perfect. Oh, I'd have caught this, I'd have caught that. No, you're going to come back here. You're going to look at all of this and go, God damn it, I would have missed that too. I would never have thought anything of any of this at all. So that is my message there before I start repeating myself. Now, the other message with the snakes. And like I said, I asked Spirit, I said, is this snakes as in snakes meaning humans or snakes meaning snakes? And Spirit is saying both. Because there's this human aspect of it that they really, really need to be, I see A-U-S. A-U-S, Australia. I don't know why. I feel like this is going to be like a rash of abductions in Australia. Or this is either going to be a new rash of abductions that are in, I don't know why I get Perth, but that's just probably a random town. Okay, this is either a new random rash of abductions, or Spirit is saying to me that this is an abduction that happened. Like an old case file. Like a cold case file, but I don't know that, I don't understand that. King of Swords just came out. For logic and justice. It's also the Lion for strength. I love you, Oscar. So yeah. So it's both. Now, with the snakes, what they're telling me, and this might be a little bit shorter, is they're showing me the same scenario. They're showing me the snake through the window, but what they're actually showing me is an actual snake that comes in and bites a baby. And then you wake up in the morning and your baby isn't there anymore. Your baby's gone. You know what I mean by that. They're telling me this is a one-off. This doesn't happen often. I'm being shown the number 2, so maybe this has happened like twice in the last 80 to 100 years. It's just something really, really strange that happened. I'm being shown maybe a snake that is usually around there that doesn't bother anything or whatever. Or I want to say rattlesnakes, like a smaller poisonous snake that has too many eggs, and they put their eggs. See, I know nothing about snakes short of I love holding them. This snake puts their eggs in the ground. It's not a nest. It puts them to eggs. I don't know if snakes bury eggs in the ground. All I'm being told is that the deer have stopped coming around here because there's too many snakes. Because the deer knows when they walk through the woods to be careful. Oh wow, like the pressure off the left side back of my head is not only releasing, but don't be shocked if this does happen, that there's a bite on the left back side of the skull. But they're saying to mow this. Usually you keep the tall grass here for the safety of the fawns and the doe, and then you have the corn and whatnot out here and the fruits and veggies, whatever, and then you and the baby let to come out, and usually the grass is just, you keep your grass like a little longer. It's not a big deal. And usually the baby goes out there, it's fine. But Spirit is saying to mow this for two reasons. One, when you mow it, the deer will come back. But what they really want you to do is after you mow it to turn the soil. Like, I feel like there's going to be some soil and then you get to the grass there, or it's like patchy. I don't understand this, but you will. They're showing me sand as well, but I'm unsure about that, to be very honest. They're saying turn it over and you're going to find eggs. They say when you start turning this over, it's going to look like potatoes. You're going to start turning it over and you're going to be like, why are there potatoes out here? Like, why in the hell? Like, I'm turning this over like she said to, and I'm getting potatoes. They're white potatoes. But they're not white potatoes. They're eggs. They're snake eggs. And you need to collect them all and call someone. Do not keep them. Like, literally, when you see them, literally get on the phone and go, hey, we got snake eggs here and yada, yada, yada. So, God. Just seems so insanely wild to me. But if this is resonating with you and you're still here, let me know if this makes sense to you, because I feel like someone out there is going to understand exactly what I'm saying or have an idea of what I'm saying, because I sure as heck don't. But they're telling me overturn this soil, and they're telling me this is rare. This is rare. Like, they're saying even for a snake to be this close to your property and lay eggs is like rare. Usually they're like over in wherever, like, but this, I don't know why. It could be the weather this year. I don't know. But this is what they're telling me. Overturn this soil because underneath you're going to find eggs. Also makes me kind of wonder if these were eggs that were incubated over like the winter, and it was like it makes me feel like, you know how you expect a chicken to have this many eggs to lay, they'll lay this many eggs, maybe they'll have, this one or two extra, but instead of having like instead of, having like 3 or 4 eggs and then maybe 2 or 3 more, I don't know actually the ratio, how they have like 30 eggs instead, and you're just sitting there going, how the hell did you lay 30 eggs today? That's this. It's like somehow, some way, this snake laid more eggs than it needed to ever in the world. It's like a fluke, and they're telling me 2 times. This is like happened once before that they've seen. I don't know if it's happened more than that. I don't know if there's more cataloged. It's like I'm being shown like 1 time in a book. Once in a book, and this will be the 2nd time. This seems so silly, but I'm just going to go with what Spirit's telling me because I've had enough validation for this week to know. It gets a little strange after a while when you have that much validation. So yeah, they're just saying be careful. If it does get, I mean, if there's a fan in the window, the snake's not going to bother going in there. But if you're like in a home where, you know, you don't have the screen, it's summertime, you really don't need to worry about it, because you don't need to worry about it. Some places you don't need to worry about it. It's just is what it is. You know, even up here, not everybody has a screen, because some people don't care if the bugs come in and out of their house and fly in and out. And, you know, ladybugs in your house are cute. A million ladybugs, however, is a whole other thing. And they're telling me that this is something that you probably did when you were little, and your mom did when they were little, and your grandma and grandpa did when they were little. And this is normal. It is natural, and you're not thinking anything of it until the snake goes through the window and slithers and then bites the baby. I don't know how grown this snake is. I just know it is a poisonous one. I don't know anything or what kind. So you do your research in your area and see. Like I say, this seems so silly to say, but Spirit's like, no, it might sound silly, but you know why it sounds silly to me? Because I don't know enough about snakes. That's why this sounds silly to me. I have to be absolutely rational and say that. I don't know enough about snakes to know if any of this is valid, which is why I say to you guys, please let me know. Because it's a good chance that something I'm saying, if you tell me what it is, it will make it a clearer picture in my mind of what they're showing me. Because they can only show me the knowledge I have. And I don't have a lot of knowledge of snakes, except that, you know, you ask to hold someone else's snake and you listen to them, and you don't just pick them up if you don't know what you're doing. You know, I you know, like me a danger noodle. Like I said, if I could feed them, I would have one. I do not have one, and I would research it before I would ever get one, so, you know. I work off the knowledge of the few friends I have that have snakes. I think that will help everybody there. So, although this may seem silly to me, I am saying this out loud going, I am working off the knowledge that I have of friends, but I know friends that if they were to hear this, they'd be like, okay, I can piece, I can see where this is. So, like I say, this is going to be someplace where you know you have snakes. This is going to be a one-off. This is not normal, but just mow down here, because, you know, the other thing they're saying is if you mow down here, it might affect the eggs that are in there, so they won't, you know, whatever. But then turn the soil over. Turn the soil over like you're digging for potatoes, they say. Turn the soil over like you're digging for potatoes, because I don't know if snakes or what kind would do that. But that's what they're showing me. And they're showing me that this person watches Steve Irwin. These people watch Steve Irwin. So when I say this stuff, you're not going to think it's absurd. I think it's silly because I don't think it's silly per se. I find it a little bit uncomfortable because I don't know enough about snakes to validate what I'm saying personally. That's why I give out the information that Spirit tells me, because it's getting cold in the room now. Okay, they're kind of backing off a little bit. And I actually see Steve Irwin in my head. And it's like he's saying to me, no, this doesn't sound stupid. You're giving people information, and these people are going to understand the information you're giving them, because they're going to be able to. Because basically what happens is Spirit works with the knowledge that you have in your head. That's why when you're clairvoyant, you tend to know a lot about a lot of stupid shit and a lot of random shit and a lot of stuff in general, so that your guides can help piece stuff together and work stuff together. But what I'm being shown in this vision that does come to me as Steve Irwin, is that no, you're giving the correct information you're supposed to give. The person who understands what you're saying, they will be able to hear what I'm saying and then take that information and have the knowledge in their head to see what I'm saying, okay? So I might not be able to completely see what I'm saying, but when you hear this, you're going to be able to fill in the gaps that I don't have. You'll be able to comment underneath and tell me so that I can be more educated for the next time something like this comes to me. But that's what he's telling me. He's like, no, he's like, no, you're fine. He's like, don't feel silly. Don't feel weird. It's like a buzzing in my ear right now. He's like, oh, I love that feeling. He is so warm. There's like this warmth. It's like a hug. And it's like being consoled by a dad. Like the room just felt like it got a little brighter. And basically I'm like being given a hug and being told, don't feel silly. This isn't silly. You're giving a warning about two very important things. And he says, the people who need to hear this warning will hear it. The people who understand it will understand it. And the people who don't, they'll listen. They may be drawn to it. They'll take it in their cachet of information, and then they'll use it, spread it, and use it in the way that they need to around the world for themselves, for information for the people that need it. But this isn't silly, it's a warning. And he said the snakes are a really big warning, and that's super important because you're going to know what that is. And he's telling me again, this isn't silly. He said, I just saw a shadow. He's like, you're giving them useful information. And when you hear it, you're going to be able to fill in the gaps. You're going to know what I'm talking about. So basically what he says it comes down to is if you're still here, this resonates with you. You're understanding what she's saying. You're understanding what I'm saying. You know, he's like a warm chocolate chip cookie. His hug, his warmth, his soul warmth is like the world's warmest. He's smiling. Did he like chocolate chip cookies? I see like chocolate chip cookies with like pecans and walnuts. Pecans. It seems like his energy is like a big, warm, gooey chocolate chip cookie. It's not fresh out of the oven, but it's not cold. It's that perfect warmth that you can hold in your hand. And then when you open it, it's just all gooey and soft and wonderful. And brown sugary. It's like I can smell brown sugar and taste brown sugar, that lovely caramelized sweetness of the perfect brown sugar and sugar combination in a chocolate chip cookie with pecans. He says with pecans. I don't like nuts in my cookies, so for me to stress pecans and to actually, I can envision like the flavor of pecans, like whoever made these cookies, these are the best cookies on the face of the goddamn earth. And I don't like I'm being told that I would like these cookies. If I had these cookies, I would want the recipe so I could make these chocolate chip pecan cookies at home. And I really don't like. Hi, baby. He says they don't have any almond extract in them. I don't like almond extract. But the flavor. I have no validation of this. I just know what I'm being told. But that's what is. Oh, it's like a warm chocolate chip cookie with pecans. Now he's going away. Thank you, friend. It was lovely. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you. But yeah. So this is a warning. And this person will not necessarily be shocked by anything I just said, because it's also an excellent chance that either A, I'm 53, so it's a good chance that either A, they're up towards my age and had the ability to go to the Australia Zoo and meet him and understand by shaking his, I'm being shown a warm shake of the hand. And I give you a warm handshake. What's that from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Where he's reading the cards and he goes, and I shake you warmly by the hand. and they shake you warmly by the hand. I don't know why I get that, but I do. So yeah, so this person has either met him so he understands what I'm talking about, or you're sensitive too, so you've gotten that impression from watching the show. And it's, you know, so yeah, I'm being told this is not going to sound ridiculous to you. It just sounds silly. It just sounds strange to me because I don't know enough educationally. I'm only going with what I'm being told, and I can only do that, you know. I keep wanting to finish this over here. Like, the trees come over here, and then they go over this way. Like, there's trees over that way. Like, the trees kind of view that way. So, that actually kind of reminds me of my friend's yard, but I know it's not my friend's yard because you can't go, because these are actually woods. Like you could come, like there's probably houses here and you could easily walk through these woods without a problem. My friend's house, you can't walk through those woods. If you do, you're going to end up in a swamp. So this is not that kind. This is that kind that's like woods between houses, but they're like big enough that it's nice. Probably kept purposefully that way, more in the country, make it look more country. So that's what I'm being told. Something too about underneath your porch. Did you find some snake skins? Some more snake skin than normal too. They said something about more extra shedding, like under a porch. Dog, I don't know. You know, yeah, you should probably let your neighbor know too that if you find anything strange, because I feel like their fence that would like make stuff stay out wouldn't necessarily, like I'm being told, yeah, it's going to make the coyotes and the coy dogs stay out from getting their little shih tzus, but it's not going to keep the snakes out. The snakes are just going to crawl through there and bite the dogs, but at the same time, the snakes really want to go through them anyway. So that is my reading for you. Please take this as it resonates with your soul. Take it as its soul resonates. And just checking to see if there's anything more. There's like nothing more. They're just saying turn that grass over. And they're saying too, if you got to turn it over to here, just do that. You can always have a lovely little garden in the back there for the deer. Carrots, they're showing me carrots. Like the baby might go out there with carrots and like throw carrots for the deer. So yeah, keep abreast of this. And there's something about the side of the house and the window. So, you know, there might be like a downstairs, and actually they just showed me my aunt's house that has they just show me a lot of stuff, I'm telling you right now. But it's like a downstairs bedroom that used to be a bedroom, but then they made it into a sunroom with French doors that let out. So like that room downstairs would be cooler because there was more like tree coverage. So it might be that kind of thing. So just keep your eyes out, keep your windows closed. If your air conditioning for some unknown reasons breaks randomly, and it shouldn't, like kind of keep abreast of that. But if that does happen, like give your neighbors a call, or Mima and Peepaw, and or a best friend or a trusted human, and say, hey, it's too hot for the kids here. Can they spend the night at your house? We're gonna spend the night here, and then you know everybody is safe, okay? Because I don't think these people are gonna follow you. Like this is a we're scouting you out. They're showing me the kid on the milk carton. Which was a little boy who was abducted, and they watched him in a van for a period of time and befriended him before they took him and left his dog and his newspapers there. So yeah, so just be forewarned about that. I'm sorry this is such a bleak message, but you know what? Sometimes we need to hear uncomfortable things so we can take notice of our screen windows. And I'm just actually kind of shocked that this looks like a baby sleeping and not the snake from my scrying mirror, which is like all settled down and cozy and happy now because it's like, yes, I did what I wanted to do. I'm so proud. I love it. Anyway, I love you guys, and take care, and good night. God bless you, and we love you, and be good, behave, be happy, and be yourself.